Okay, so, quick note, welcome back to another video. I wanted to maybe just talk about this whole DRM situation going on. I actually made a couple of videos regarding this issue with the PlayStation's DRM. So, upon the video yesterday, or it was more likely yesterday, I did a video. I still didn't have knowledge of what was going on. So, obviously, it's been instated that you're not going to, obviously, lose your games, of course. And I do stand by everything I stated in the last two videos I did on the PlayStation's DRM. However, the method that PlayStation is doing with these digital games that you pay for, obviously a lot of people are going to be mad at me. I don't really care, but I'm going to say this anyway. It's not really that big of a deal considering that you are it has DRM technically tied to it anyway, even if like they implemented the I'm going to show you a little chart here. In fact, I need to turn down the audio. Oh yeah, Black Myth is running in the background. We're going to go to my desktop real quick and we are going to I'm going to show you something just as an example. Yes, I have almost every fucking Doom game on my goddamn computer. Don't leave me alone. Okay, we're going to go ahead and scroll all the way the fuck down. And I just thought about this. I wanted to maybe at least implement a little bit more information. If I can just find it, because I don't feel like closing out the game for me to do that. There we go. So I did save this image. So we are going to go ahead and go to full screen real quick. So basically, when you buy a digital game on the PlayStation Store before March 2026, it was a permanent license. So, which means it's still a license. It's still tied to PlayStation servers, and so when you buy a digital game from any storefront, this was literally implemented. You still had the DRM tied to it, but only with the after the latest update. It is a temporary 30-day license. Long story short. And then after that 30 days, it turns into a permanent license. So it's not really too different from before, but at the same time, they are implementing this within the realm of when you buy a digital game. Obviously, literally, this is what's going to happen after the 30 days of the check. Then you're good to go, basically. However, the reason why I say it's not really too big of a deal is, like I stated, is because it's still technically a form of DRM. It's a digital license. You can't just simply take your external drive with the game data on it, move it to a PS5 with a different account, and then try to play the game there because it's tied to a specific account. It's not going to work like that. It's not going to work that way. I can't come over to your place and hand you my hard drive and say, hey, you can play my PS4 games here, because it's not going to work like that. That's not it. It still has DRM tied to it. So yes, I still stand by everything I stated yesterday about what I stated about DRM and digital rights management and how it kills game preservation altogether, especially when PlayStation implements this stuff within it. Fair reasons being behind, trying to prevent piracy on these consoles. Obviously, it makes sense. I get the reason why PlayStation's doing it, and I do feel anger for those who are obviously affected by this, but at the same time, you are paying for you're paying for these digital games, therefore you're going to have to put up with the bullshit. This is why buying physical is actually more important, because the physical games are not affected. So I'm going to probably, I don't know how long this video is going to be for, but we're just going to go ahead, move back to some Black Myth. Anyway, the point being is, with this DRM situation that's going on, and with everything is, maybe I didn't have to make it that big of a deal. Obviously, I still feel the way I do about digital rights management. I think anybody who buys any form of anything related to, it doesn't matter if it's a book, it doesn't matter. The product that you pay for, you should still have ownership over. But with digital distribution, especially on these consoles, it's a problem every time. So literally, if you don't support this stuff, just don't buy anything. Don't buy digital games off these consoles if you can. If you can get access to a physical game with all the data on the disc, there you go. I still push for physical media on at least on the PS5 and maybe even the PS4, because you actually own it. Why is Black Myth Wukong? Okay, good shit. Don't freeze on me. Anyway, I just thought about this, and I just basically wanted to maybe do at least one last update video on this, because I'm done talking about this PlayStation DRM so far. I'm already not really a fan of any form of any ownership being taken from the user, obviously, but I'm also not going to just make a big deal about it anymore and continue trying to talk about this, because a lot of people are going to just a lot of people get upset and try to defend PlayStation any way they can. That's them. I'm not a big deal to me, but obviously, I'm not really tripping about it. I didn't understand exactly what was going on before with the PlayStation DRM. I thought the same thing everyone else did, but realistically, if it's not affecting physical games at all, and I can just factory reset my PS5 and still install the physical media without any problems and have it set like that years down the road, come back to my system and launch the same game physically again, the 1.0 build of the game, I'm not exactly tripping about this DRM situation with the storefront. Just don't support the digital games on the store. Simple as that. You want to buy the games, go ahead. At the same time, I still stand by what I stated a couple days ago, but I just wanted to make more of a clarification. I just wanted to clarify the last two videos and at least re-update my confusion. It's more updated now, obviously. Now I'm not as confused as I was yesterday and the day before when I was making that video. So, not a big deal. It's not really a big deal to me. I don't support like anti-consumer control, but at the same time, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to still push for game preservation, but I am going to probably stop talking about this DRM stuff and maybe focus on pushing forward. That's about it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. Obviously, anyway, yeah. So let me know what you guys think down below. And I mean, at least it's not too big of a deal. Obviously, I already knew that you weren't gonna lose your games. It was just gonna lock. It was just gonna be a digital lock. I mean, listen, if you go out and you buy a digital game and you have problems because you can't access the content, that's your fault. Realistically, because you went out and you paid, you went and supported the digital game instead of going out and buying the physical game, where you're not going to have any problems. Now, is PlayStation going to get worse later on and put out another update so you can't even use your physical game without connecting to the internet? Maybe. We'll see. I don't have any information on that. If there's anything related to that, maybe I'll make a video one more time about the PlayStation DRM situation. But as far as right now, I just, I've already said what I said, and that's about it. Otherwise, on other news, I don't know if I'm going to be streaming later. I've been streaming on Twitch later, so if you want to go ahead and follow me, link down in the description to my Twitch. Feel free to jump in, and I would love to have you. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.